everybody, it's me, John Ward, and I am back with another Reviews After Midnight. And this video is a sequel, quasi-sequel, part two, possibly, to another video that I made for Reviews After Midnight. And that would be The Beast of Yucca Flats. And this is one of my all-time favorite bad movies. It stars Tor Johnson. It's directed by Coleman Francis, and I just love this. It's also one of my all-time favorite Mystery Science Theater 3000 episodes too. I think it's a lot of people's, one of their favorite episodes of that. And I just love this film, and so I wanted to review it, so I could review its sequel, quasi-sequel, possibly part two, follow-up called Return to Yucca Flats, Desert Man Beast. And when I was making this video, I was waiting for this to arrive in the mail. Tony over at sovhorror.com was having a sale, and I bought a bunch of stuff, and there we go. And this was one of them. So I wanted to review this first, and then there we go, if I can get my hands right, and there we go. And then review this after it came in. The Beast of Yucca Flats, this one is it's alpha video, but it's oldies.com. This is an uncut version of it. And I think it's probably the best version that you're going to find of it. So if you want to see its sequel, requel these days, I guess, you would get this version. And this is from, like I said, Tony over at sovhorror.com. And it stars David Hayes, and which is one of the main reasons why I got it. One, I like to support Tony and SOV Horror. Also, I like to support people that I know, and I know both Tony and David, and which makes this a little difficult to review. And I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not, but I've talked about it to friends. I've mentioned it on other videos that I was going to review it, and I figured, you know what, I'll just do it and see what happens. Hopefully they'll still like me when I'm done with this review. But this is a film that I have wanted to see for years. And I remember it coming out, but I had absolutely no idea how to watch it. I just knew that it was like a sequel to Beast of Yucca Flats. But then I heard from other people, it's not really a sequel to Beast of Yucca Flats. And so finally it came out, and I'm like, oh, I got to get that. And I got it. And this is a really good DVD. Now, not reviewing the film yet, but just the DVD itself. It's got a good cover on it. So this is its poster. Now, this film was originally called, just called Desert Man Beast. And then I believe that it was into filming that they're like, wow, this is like the Beast of Yucca Flats. Let's kind of make it this weird sequel to that, and we'll call it Return to Yucca Flats. David Hayes is here on the cover, and he does kill somebody who looks like this, so the cover is not lying. So David plays this Desert Man Beast, so he's not the same character as Tor Johnson. He's something different. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a sequel, kind of a quasi-sequel. Is it a requel? Is it an unofficial part two? But it's in the spirit of, especially with the way that they made the film. I enjoyed it, but I got to tell you, that's after a second viewing. But before we get into that, so it's got a good looking cover. I like the cover. Here's its side. We got the back here. It's got a lot of special features. So it says on here, the sequel that no one asked for. Well, that is true. And we got the Desert Beast Man up here himself, David C. Hayes. We got a victim that's right here. And then we have the Desert Beast Man, what looks like he's crushing a girl's skull right there. And the special features are pretty cool on this. So what you get is an audio interview with actor David C. Hayes. So this is coming, I think, at the very end of the film. It does say copyright 2010. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there it is right there, copyright 2010. I'm not sure if that's the original release date of this film, because for some reason I thought it was on like VHS or something like that. Well, I have a feeling, but I could be wrong about that. But it does say 2010, and then it got released, this year, 2022. Now, the interview is not audio commentary. So it's about 35 minutes. The film itself is 60 minutes. It is in color, and it says that it's unrated. And so it's Tony from, SOV Horror interviewing David. And it goes for about 35 minutes. And then after that, it's just blank. So you just go back to the movie. So what I did was I watched the movie, and then I went in and listened to the audio interview, and then just went back to the movie again because I was making notes and stuff for this. So that's kind of the way I think that people should watch it, is watch the film first. You'll probably be like, oh my God, what the fuck am I watching? And then when you go back and listen to this interview, you'll understand more about the movie, and then you can continue watching it after the interview and get a lot more out of it. I enjoyed it a lot more on its second viewing than I did on its first. Once you understand why this was made and all that stuff, and it makes more sense after the interview. You also get the Desert Man Beast trailer, behind the scenes still gallery. You get a bonus movie of Beast of Yucca Flats. So if you want to buy it by itself, you could buy this one. But if you want to save money, you could just buy this copy and get it for free, because it's right here. And I did check, it's got the nudity at the beginning, so it's the uncut version. And Beast of Yucca Flats is public domain. So I do believe you can even get this on YouTube, which there's nudity in it. And of course, YouTube doesn't strike it like it's done other people, including myself and some people I know, but it's out there. You also get the Beast of Yucca Flats trailer. You get the sovhorror.com trailer vault, which is 8 trailers. One of them is for a film called Blow, which is also David C. Hayes, which is available on sovhorror.com. And that looks pretty funny because they talk about that a lot in this interview, is that one film. You also get a certificate of achievement insert card. Now that is this right here. So it's this. So let me see if I can take it out. There's our disc right there. So this certificate basically awards the viewer, like they even mentioned in the interview that you should frame it, and I might, or I might just leave it in the thing because I don't want to get ruined. But it's a little hard to see because it's on white. But it says Certificate of Achievement, SOV Horror Awards, you being the person who watched the movie, for watching the entire movie of Desert Man Beast. We are truly sorry. Not really. And it is signed by David, and it is signed by Tony. And then we have the Man Beast screaming right here, and it's got like a little border around it, and it's got some like stains on it to make it look a little old. I know it's really hard to see. And there, you can kind of see it with my hand going over it. But this is fun. So they even know it's a bad movie. And but it's an intentionally bad movie. So I think this certificate is fun. And I always think that Tony does good discs. They're very colorful. They're very bright. I do like the red strip with the logo and everything in it right here. I've always enjoyed his discs. I think that they look really good. I think that he does a really good job on presenting these, these movies. Description is short, so I'll read that. A beastly man beast, David C. Hayes, roams the Arizona desert in search of blood, boobs, and a plot. From the creators of Blown and Backwoods, and I highly recommend Backwoods. That's another David C. Hayes. There's also Backwoods 2, and you can get them together on one DVD, probably eBay or Amazon or something like that. So let's see. Comes the sequel no one asked for. Return to Yucca Flats, Desert Man Beast. Also included Coleman Francis' original 1961 Desert Shocker, The Beast of Yucca Flats, starring the great Tor Johnson, Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. So, yeah, so I recommend this movie. I recommend This Is the Way You See It. Like I said, watch the movie. You'll be like, what the hell? Then watch the audio interview or listen to it while you're watching the movie. And then you'll understand it a lot better. And then once the interview is done, just flip back to the movie, because they talk about kind of the whole film in that 35 minutes. So when you flip back to the film, you'll know what they're talking about, because there's like a rave scene that's, I kid you not, 15 minutes. And that's very difficult to get through. But once you understand that it is literally every single piece of footage that they shot for this rave scene, it makes more sense when you flip back to it, because that's pretty much where the interview ends, is while the rave scene is going on. And you can use that information while you watch the rest of the movie for like 20 minutes. So I made up a ton of notes because, like I said, since I know Tony and I know David, both of them I've interviewed for one film, one filmmaker. I support David and his work. I support Tony and his work. I didn't want to like destroy this movie, since its intentions were never really made to be good. This was more of a, as David points out, something like a 24-hour film project that they did. So they went out to the Arizona desert, they shot this film in like 24 hours, and then they added a whole bunch of stuff to it, when they were done, to get it to be an hour long. Once you watch it a second time, it does go by a lot faster. When I first watched it, that hour was pretty long, but the second time it actually went by pretty quickly. In some cases with movies like this, you kind of need to understand why the film was made and what the filmmaker's intentions were. Like I would love to interview the director of Birdemic, Shock and Terror, because I love Birdemic, Shock and Terror. I have it on Blu-ray. I would not buy it on DVD. I had to have it on Blu-ray. I've watched it a bunch of times. I have the Riff Tracks version of it, which is one of the funniest things I've ever, heard in my life. And then when the director came out with Birdemic 2, Resurrection, it's just as bad as the first one, but you have to kind of wonder, is this one purposely made bad? Like Riff Tracks also reviewed that director's first film that he did before Pandemic. I'm blanking on the name, but it's on YouTube under Riff Tracks, and it's like a lost film, and they reviewed it, and that's pretty bad. So it's like, okay, I can understand why Birdemic is bad, but you would think after making 2 or 3 films, by the time that he got to Birdemic Resurrection, he would understand more about filmmaking. And since Birdemic 2 is purposely, well, since it's bad, you got to wonder, like, why is it this bad, and was it done intentionally? Because the first Birdemic, Shock and Terror, doesn't feel that way. It just feels like a bad movie. But part 2 is almost like, well, we can't make a good movie, so we got to make a bad movie on top of that. And so I wonder, so I would like to know that. And that's, I got that from this, is they weren't necessarily trying to duplicate the Beast of Yucca Flats, but there's definitely some similarities to it. The like the soundtrack appears to be missing, just like in Beast of Yucca Flats. So there's two guys that are, it's like ADR or voiceover, that are kind of talking throughout the movie. David Hayes does some of the voices too. And so that's kind of a link to, or an homage to, the original movie. There's horrible continuity. I'm going to guess that they really didn't care that much about continuity while filming this, because it's meant to be bad. The editing is pretty awful. Once again, thinking that it's meant to be awful, but there are scenes that I like. There are scenes of David Hayes as the desert, man beast, walking through the desert. And he's got on this like fake wig that has like long black hair, and he kind of looks like a caveman, and like his, his crotch area is covered up and all that. And he's got the like furry boots on and stuff like that. And he's just kind of walking through the desert. And I like those scenes. I thought there's some stuff with him in silhouette that I really enjoyed. There's like some long shots of him walking, and anybody who lives in the desert, Arizona desert or Las Vegas desert, like I do, unless you go out and film in winter, it's hot as hell out there. And so for him to be out there without a shirt on, and he's got this fake wig, he had to be really hot. And as I'm sure probably everybody, the cast and crew, were all really hot. And it's also amazing of how many people like to just hang out in the desert. So I'm going to go over, I took notes for this, surprisingly enough. And so I have my little list here that I've gone off of for the last few videos, but I don't know, maybe I won't use it this time, because I did make so many notes on this. Because like I said, I don't want to bash on a Friends movie, but I did want to review this because I did review the first one. And so I kind of just want to go over the notes I have. It took me 2 viewings to get all my notes. I mean, I got front page here, I got back page, I got front page, I got some back, and then I got front page on this one and back on this. So the let's see here. So where am I starting off here? Okay, so we got, I think we should start off with this one. Okay, so the movie starts off with like a Criswell type character, like from Ed Wood, the guy who pops out of the coffin and he predicts the future and warns you about this movie. So they have that type of guy, and he does give a warning. So after that, it goes into some fake trailers, and there's 2 fake trailers at the beginning. And I'm not going to get into these type of things of telling you what they're about. If you want to know more, buy the movie, and then you can watch the trailers with the film. But I'll just tell you their names. And trust me, this is not very politically correct. So, don't comment that I'm being politically incorrect. This is the name of the first trailer, is called Love Tard. Love Tard. So you kind of might get an idea of what that fake trailer is about. David does mention in the interview that if that's the one thing that he could change today. So if he could, if he was going to do it today, he would leave that trailer out or just not do it, because this is not politically correct these days. But for its time, it is kind of funny. I am a politically incorrect guy. I like movies that are politically incorrect. And so for me, it was funny, but it was inappropriate. Just with it, with the subject matter of the title. The one after that is called Camp Kill No More. And I'll go in a little bit. So the Camp Kill No More is basically a camp where serial killers go to not serial kill anymore. So that's the idea of that one. So I'm not going to get really into it, like I said, but that's the idea, is to basically stop being a serial killer. So it's got a funny idea. Then we get into the feature film. The credits are done twice for some reason. I'm not sure why. There's like opening credits, and then it goes to credits of David as the Desert Man Beast running around, and there's credits with that. So the credits are done twice. And the first kill that the Desert Man Beast does, it's like a surveillance team, like the guys that go out for the roads, and they set up like the little tripod with the camera on it, or like the little telescope or whatever it is, and they do the measurements and all that for roads. So it's one of those I think it's like a surveillance team. And the Desert Man Beast goes up and grabs that little periscopy thing, or off the top, shoves it in a guy's eye, and then he cuts the second guy's neck with the measuring tape. So that's his first kill. Then we meet up with a reporter. His name is Roger Smith. He is driving at night. He has his kind of Humphrey Bogart, Maltese Falcon detective type dialogue. He does have an eye patch. I don't know why, he just does. And he is driving out to Yucca Flats because of these, I'm guessing because of these murders or reported murders. Then Desert Man Beast comes across a blind woman. Now, a lot of these, the voices are done by men, like imitating women or anything like that. And so this one is the woman's voice, which is done by a man, with this blind woman, is pretty bad. It sounds like something out of Monty Python. And basically the Desert Man Beast twist, it's a fake thing. It's like one of those full body, I have one of them actually. It's like a full body dummy of a person. So it's like 5 feet tall, maybe something like that. And it's like a pillow, it's got like foam inside of it. And he takes that and, it's got the woman's clothes on it, and he twists it all around and turns it into a pretzel, and then smells in a certain area and seems to enjoy it, and throws that person away. So then there's a lot of scenes normally after when a Desert Man Beast kills somebody, is we then cut to him kind of wandering the desert. And then we come up on a guy who's throughout the film, and in my notes, I just called him Rocker Guy, but in the credits, he's known as Teenage Ghoul Desert Johnny. And he finds the blind woman, and he's kind of throughout the movie, he keeps finding these bodies, and then has these little things that he says to the bodies. The next person who gets killed there is a fake Arnold Schwarzenegger guy walking down a road, and the Desert Man Beast rips his arm off, and the guy kind of looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's wearing sunglasses, and David does the voice. So he does the whole, my arm, it's hurting. He's doing the whole Schwarzenegger voice as this guy's arm gets ripped off. And David actually does a pretty good Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, much better than mine. I just make Schwarzenegger sound dumb whenever I do mine. It's just, get to the chopper. He just sounds, my voice, my imitation sounds dumb, but David's is pretty good. And then, of course, the Desert Johnny finds the fake Arnold Schwarzenegger and decides to steal his shoes. So that's normally something that happens in like prison. A lot of the times is people will get their shoes stolen. So who would think that somebody would steal like sneakers off of a dead guy? But he does. So he takes them. So I guess good for him. He's got a new pair of sneakers. We then see the reporter at his car, and we got the voiceover, once again, very Bogart, very kind of Big Sleep, or like Maltese Falcon type of thing. And he's reading through the murders that are going on. Um, how he knows what murders have gone on, I have no idea, since they just happened. But and how he would get them if he's driving out in the desert, but he has them regardless. He has them. So now the next murders are there are 3 women that are all in bikinis, and they have like a big blanket out, like a big beach blanket out, and they're just partying and hanging out in the desert. And a lot of people just hang out in the desert, so it's really kind of weird, kind of funny. And so the desert man beast comes up. He kind of squashes one girl's head, and there's blood going all over her fake breasts. There's the other girls are screaming, they're being like strangled or attacked, or you know, multiple ways that desert man beast is killing them. That then the film breaks. So right when desert man beast kills them all, the film breaks, and that goes to some trailers. And there are 4 trailers on this one. And the first one is called Village of Gold, and it's a Western. And it has an alternate title, which is El Pueblo de Oro. I think I'm saying that right. The second one is Zombies Manners. And it could be Zombies Manners or Zombie Manners. I think it's Zombie Manners. I think I added an S by accident. The next one after that is called Partnership of Corruption. And then the next one, I have no idea how to pronounce this, but it's Eyes of TSN THOGGUA. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but that's what it is. Then we have our little insert that says, you know, now back to your feature film. And then we have Desert Johnny finds the 3 dead girls. And he like poses with them, he hangs out with them, he's completely clueless to this entire thing. And then the next guy that dies, now once again, remember, whenever we're kind of in between these things, we see you know, Desert Beast Man just wandering the desert in between these things. And a lot of the shots I really like with that type of stuff. To me, that's the best stuff, is him just wandering. The next guy to get killed is called the Happy Bird Watcher, and it's a guy who's bird watching out in the desert. And now it's possible, and like I said, you got to realize, you know, when this was made, that the guy is gay, and they really kind of play up the gay on him. So he gives the desert man beast some flowers, and it seems like desert man beast likes that at first, and then doesn't, and gives him a headbutt right into him. And then I'm thinking, oh, okay, so he kills him with a headbutt. No, instead, when he's down on the ground, that cuts to desert man beast ripping his guts out, and he's killing them, you know, killing him on the ground. So it's nice to see that he, you know, that he just kills, you know, straight people, gay people, women, all that stuff. You know, he's not prejudiced to that type of thing. It doesn't matter who you are, he's going to wipe you out. And then once again, Desert Johnny finds the bird watcher and starts playing with his guts. And he you know, just pulls them out and kind of throws them around, you know, and they're like twirling above his head and stuff. And he's just having a good time, and then steals the guy's sunglasses. What a dick. Steals his glasses. But all right, you should never steal a man's sunglasses, dead or alive. Now this cuts to a rave party, which is incredibly long. And in the interview, like I said, David mentioned that it's literally every piece of footage that they shot is in this rave, and you can tell. At first, I wrote down 10 minutes, then I wrote down 12 minutes, then I wrote down 15 minutes, and I think I got it right, that the rave scene itself is 15 minutes long. And there's the fake ADR or voiceover in it from like the 2 guys, and they're voicing all the people as they're going around. There is this repeated beat that's just like a, you know, like a boom, 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 boom throughout it, which is the music that everybody's dancing to. And it just gets on your nerves after a while. Then you kind of get used to it by the time it's done, but it's just a constant beat. It's like the same beat over and over and over again. And you get frustrated at first because it's like, okay, change, do something. And it doesn't, it just stays that way. So there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of cars. And David had mentioned that they put out an ad and like 20 people showed up. So they had all these people there, all these cars. There looks like there's production in this, with all these people in the cars and stuff. And the camera just follows everybody around. There is a guy that they call the Verizon guy, is that he's walking up on this cliff and he's going, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And eventually he turns and there's Desert Man Beast, and Desert Man Beast picks him up, and it's that dummy, and throws him down the cliff. So that's how he dies. Hey, look, we're through the first page here. Put that over there. Then there is a woman in a very long shot of this woman looking through a blue pillbox. And it's, once again, one of the guys doing her voice and talking about sagging boobs and all that type of thing. So when this was made, it was a different time. These things would not fly well today, but it is what it is. And if you have a sense of humor about these things, then you'll, it won't bug you. So, you can't get pissed off of everything. But so she sees, Desert Man Beast, and gives him some pills, and he starts like tripping out, and he parties with the ravers, and he's having a good time. People are dancing with him and talking to him, and they're playing with his hair, and he's having a good time and all that type of stuff. And then he smokes something bad, and he does not like that, and ends up starting killing everybody. And it just, in different ways possible. So some people get a headbutt and they die. Some people he strangles and they die. Some people he just walks up to and like scares and they die. Some people are in the back of a truck, which I think is done twice, but there's supposed to be two different kills, where he puts the tailgate up and then he grabs there's like the cab over it, and he pulls down the back window piece, and he kills two women in that. But I think it's supposed to be two different people that he kills. And he just starts, freaking out, and, is not having a good time. So once he's done killing everybody, he then runs down the road into the desert because he's upset and mad, and he's having a bad trip. From there, we see Desert Johnny again, and he finds all the dead ravers. And now the camera follows him as he goes from person to person to person. And then the camera also does a POV. So we've already have the scene of him looking at everybody. Now we have the POV of him looking at everybody. And then he steals a purse, and he steals a backpack. And realizing, I guess, that everybody's dead, he sits on a dead guy and goes, I don't even have a ride home. So that's his concern. He doesn't have a ride home, even though everybody's dead. And the reporter shows up at the rave, and he's looking at everybody. Actually, that may be where the POV comes in. So it could just, I think it's just the camera is following Desert Johnny, and then the reporter shows up. Yeah. And we get the POV of the reporter looking at all the bodies. And then out of nowhere, we just hear Desert Man Beast just go like, "Roar!" And he hits the reporter. His phone falls to the ground, and that's it. The movie ends. So there could be a part 3 if they wanted to. Then we see, kind of like at the beginning where there was the Griswold character, this at the end has a person named Tony Sabal, I believe is how you say his name. And he thanks the audience, the viewers, for sitting through this piece of shit film. And it's a couple of minutes, and that he talks about how bad the movie is. He says, thank you. He's telling us that they don't give a shit. He's saying, you're going to watch what we film, which we did, I did, because I just finished watching it. And he says, so there's two things. Is he reads for the script, the unfilmed ending that deals with the reporter and Desert Man Beast. And he tells us that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to watch the movie. And then he says, I'm going to give you like a look at like a piece of footage that we didn't use. And it says the end, and it has the Desert Man Beast. Like it's probably an outtake or like behind the scenes or something of David jumping up in the air and being all happy. Probably like that they're done filming. And that's pretty much it. And then the movie ends, and we got the credits. Excuse me. And there's music. And then once the music ends, there's audio outtakes. And you can hear like David, and you can hear, I guess, like the two guys that would do the different voices. And you're hearing cut, action, and they're recording. Like they're probably playing the film, and then they're doing these voices. And you get that until the very end, until when the credits are over, and we get the little copyright thing down at the bottom. So that's pretty much the film. I don't think that there's anything on my other notes here from the first time I watched it that yeah, I don't think there's anything. Oh, there is. So this was made by Abnormal Entertainment and Blue Ronin Media. So I want to point that out. And then Tony over at sovhorror.com released it. So I pretty much think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to go over this. I'll just save it for the next film, since I don't really take notes on movies, but I wanted to do it on this one. So please check this out. I thought it was fun. It's going to take, like I said, probably 2 viewings to really get into it. Watch it with a group of people, watch, because you got Beast of Yucca Flats. So watch Beast of Yucca Flats first. Then, maybe even watch the Mystery Science Theater episode of it. Then watch this. And then listen to and watch the audio interview. And I think that you'll appreciate it a lot more. Also watch the trailers, because there's Tony always puts good trailers on here. Appreciate the certificate. Oh, there you go. Now I got a good angle on it. There you go. Bit up a little bit more. Appreciate the certificate. This is fun. They mentioned it in the interview that they might do it. And I think that's a really good idea. I think that's a lot of fun. And, and you can always catch Beast on YouTube, or you can pick it up from, oldies.com. So I think for me, I think it's worth owning both, because then I could put them, side by side if I want to. And yeah, I would, if I had to give a rating, like a star rating, let's say out of 5, I would probably give, like the Beast of Yucca Flats, I would give like 4 stars to. And I would give Desert Man Beast probably 3, maybe 3.5, but I would definitely 3. So that's not too bad. So, rarely is a sequel as good as the original. So, I think 3 out of 5 is pretty good. And, 4 out of 5 is good for this. So, but that, that's on that level. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next one. I have to think about it. But thank you both Tony and David for bringing this out. I really appreciate it. Please go check, look on the website for, SOV horror. There's also on YouTube, there's SOV horrors on there too. And Facebook, SOV horrors on there, and Tony's on there too. So is David. David's on there also. David has his own website, which I think is just davidchayes.com. So go check out that too. So yeah, please support these guys. It's definitely worth it. So, all right, I'll talk to you soon. And that's it. All right, bye.